and we got to change the charging port. So I'm going to get these 8 screws removed, and I'll be right back with you as soon as I get that done. Okay, so now that I've got all 8 screws out, this little black board right here, this is your vibrating board, and it pries up right there in the corner. Get one of my little pry tools to pop it up with. So got that up out of the way. Now on this little green board, this is called the daughter board. This little button right here, that little block, that connects the charging port to the battery. And you got these 2 little plugs right here on the white wire and the black wire. Those go to your antenna. And we have to take those off. All 3 plugs, they just snap on. And when you get those off, you have 1 screw, and the daughter board will at that point come out of the phone to where you can replace with a new one, which I ordered a new one off of Amazon for about $10. And I got that screw out. So right here, you just got to kind of lift it up, and it comes right out. That's the old one. And here's the new one. Comes in like a little anti-static bag. Okay. So it'll go in there just like that right there. This is your new charging port. Gotta lift these little wires that go to the antenna. sit down in an angle, keep it raised up enough to where you can get a hold of that little uh, plug that goes to the battery, because it's got to be lifted up out of the way. Once it is, you just set it down in there. You can push the little battery thing down on there if you'd like at that time to help hold it in place. And then this screw that goes into the daughter board is the smallest one out of all 9 screws. It is literally very tiny. It's about the size of an M.2 screw for a computer motherboard. Okay, that's in. Now we gotta take and plug the antenna back down onto the new daughter board. And like I said, it's these little wires here and they just snap on. They can be a little finicky to snap on, but they're not that difficult. You just gotta get them on there straight enough to where when you apply pressure they pop on. And if you don't have them on straight, then they kind of slide out of the way and you have to realign them. Okay. It probably would help if you had, fingernails to actually help push with, but there we go. Finally got it lined up. Just gotta line it up and press it on. Okay. So what I was working with is that little black wire right there with that little gold contact button. That's on. That one's on. Okay, so now we can take the vibrator board and put it back on in the right orientation. It'll line up and you'll hear it press down in there, kind of like a friction fit. They'll hold it in place. And then from there on out, you put the other 8 screws back in. Now I've got all six of the, or eight of the screws back in to the vibrating board. Here's the back. Here's the back cover. Normally they use a T7000 black silicone glue. I do not have any of that right now, so I'm just using some double-sided tape. And that's what I'm going to use to hold the back on. Okay, so now that I've got all the protectant peeled off of the double-sided tape, just got to line the back up and put it back down and apply some pressure to where the tape gets a good hold onto the phone. Now hold the back on. Yep, got that back on there. So now turn that over and I'm going to charger and plug the charger in and see how that does. Yep, there we go, getting charging going. No more charging issues, fixed a loose connection and seems to be working. Alright, well that's how you fix a LG K92 with a bad charging port. And sorry about the sound difficulties. Loose connection on my microphone.